Hello, welcome back to Live from the Past. Today I'm at a cemetery, as you can tell, as there's a tombstone right there. And I'm going to be doing something a little bit different that I've never done before. So I'm trying to get more interactive with y'all guys and just make more videos where I'm in them. So I'm going to be doing a couple of short stories. I'm not really sure how many, but I say each story is probably around a minute long. I just wanted to try something new because, as y'all know, I do stories. But I've never done stories like this or done a video like this, so I hope y'all enjoy this. So my mom always told me not to go into our basement, but I wanted to see what was making that noise. It sounded like a puppy. So me being me, I tiptoed down the stairs trying to be as quiet as possible, and I didn't see a puppy. Then my mom yanked me up the stairs and screamed at me, and she's never screamed at me before, so that made me sad and I cried a little bit. And she said, "Never go into the basement." And she handed me a cookie to bribe me. That made me happy, so I just never asked her why the little boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy and why he was missing hands and feet. So one late night when I was tucking my son into bed, he looked at me and said, "Can you check underneath my bed for monsters?" So I did so for his amusement, and whenever I looked underneath the bed, there he was. Another him staring back at me. Shaking, he said, "Dad, there's somebody on my bed." During the war, a soldier faithfully wrote to his mother every week to let her know how he was doing, until one week she did not receive a letter from him, and she immediately began to worry. A few weeks later, the army wrote her a letter saying her son had been captured and was being held in a prisoner of war camp, and they assured her that they had no reason to believe they was mistreating the American prisoners in any way. A few weeks later, she finally received a note from her son saying, "Dear Mom, try not to worry, they are treating us very well, and I'll be released as soon as the war's over. And also make sure little Teddy gets a stamp on the envelope for his collection." She was overjoyed to hear from her son, but she was a little bit confused because she had no idea who little Teddy was. So she decided to steam the stamp off the envelope and have a look, and when she did, she seen written on the back of the stamp it said, "They cut off my legs." There was this man that went on a hike through the woods, kind of close to night. So whenever it was getting closer to night, he decided to walk back down the trail to go back to his car so he can go home. But as he was walking down the trail, he realized that he did not recognize the trail at all. So he's getting a little bit freaked out because it was getting closer to night and he did not want to be in the woods at nighttime. So he just kept on walking, trying to find the way back, and he eventually realized that he was not on the same trail at all, and so he got freaked out. So he just kept on walking. So when nighttime finally fell, he realized that he was stuck and he just had to wait till morning, and then he found a cabin. So he went up to the cabin, knocked on the door to see if anybody was there, and when he realized nobody was there, he kind of kicked in the door a little bit, and he seen that there was a bed in there just for a single person. So he decided that he was just going to lay down, and if anybody came to the cabin, he would just talk to him and kind of just tell him what happens, hoping that they would realize and say, "Okay, that's fine, you can just stay here for the night." And then whenever he laid down, it got a little bit darker, I'd say probably closer to midnight, and he realized that there was paintings on the wall of these random eyes and these random creatures that he's never seen before, and he just thought the paintings was cool. So he just went to sleep. Whenever he woke up in the morning, he realized that there was no paintings. And he was just wondering, why is there no paintings? There was paintings there last night. And then he realized they was not paintings, they was windows. There was this woman that was awoken out of her sleep to the sound of somebody laughing. So she listened a little bit closer and realized that it was a baby laughing. So she decided to call the police. Now you may wonder, why did she call the police instead of going checking up on her baby? But it's because she had no kids. It was 1 a.m. and she was home alone.